Have you ever stopped, truly stopped, and considered the delicate balance of your life? The ancient Greeks had a saying, "Medon agan," nothing in excess. It seems we are constantly caught in a precarious dance between too much and too little. Too much food, too little sleep, too much work, too little play. But what happens when we tip the scales too far in one direction? What is the cost of excess in our lives? We are told that silence is golden, but in our modern age of relentless self-expression, it seems we've forgotten how to listen to the quiet spaces within ourselves. We speak to fill the void, to chase away the discomfort of silence, but in doing so, we risk losing ourselves in a torrent of meaningless words. Truth, that elusive and multifaceted gem, requires careful contemplation, a willingness to sit with uncertainty. If we speak before we have truly listened, before we have wrestled with the complexities of our own thoughts, we risk speaking falsehoods, not only to others, but also to ourselves. When we overshare, we make ourselves vulnerable, not only to the judgments and misinterpretations of others, but also to the erosion of our own sense of self. The things we share become part of our public persona, shaping how others perceive us and, perhaps more importantly, how we perceive ourselves. The more we reveal, the less mystery remains, and in that shrinking space of the unknown, we risk losing touch with the very essence of who we are. The human mind, capable of astonishing feats of creativity and problem-solving, can also become our own personal torture chamber when we allow our thoughts to spin out of control. Overthinking, that relentless churning of the mental gears, can trap us in a cycle of anxiety and despair. We become prisoners of our own thoughts, replaying past mistakes, catastrophizing future events, and dissecting every interaction with the precision of a surgeon, but without the benefit of anesthesia. This is not to say that thinking is inherently bad. Thought is the seed of action, the wellspring of innovation. However, like any powerful tool, it must be wielded with care and precision. When we allow our thoughts to run rampant, unchecked by reason and perspective, they can lead us down a dangerous path, eroding our mental well-being and leaving us paralyzed by fear and indecision. To cry is to be human. Tears are the language of grief, of pain, of overwhelming joy. They are a necessary release valve, allowing us to process intense emotions and emerge on the other side, perhaps a little battered but still standing. However, even tears, those salty drops of shared humanity, can become a source of suffering when they become excessive, chronic. When we cry too much, we risk drowning in our own sorrow, becoming lost in a sea of despair. Our vision blurs, our perspective narrows, and we lose sight of the shore, of the possibility of finding joy and meaning in life again. Prolonged sadness can manifest physically, draining our energy, suppressing our immune system, and leaving us vulnerable to a host of ailments. Love, that most powerful and intoxicating of emotions, can be both a source of immense joy and profound suffering. To love is to make yourself vulnerable, to open your heart to the possibility of joy and the inevitability of pain. But what happens when we love too much, when we surrender ourselves completely to another person, making them the sole arbiter of our happiness? In the tapestry of human relationships, love should be a thread of gold woven through the fabric of our lives, adding richness and beauty. However, when we allow love to consume us, becoming the dominant, overwhelming force in our existence, we risk losing ourselves in the process. We become shadows, defined solely by our relationships with others, our own identities subsumed by the needs and desires of the object of our affection. To care for others is an essential aspect of the human experience. It is through acts of kindness, empathy and compassion that we build strong communities and foster a sense of belonging. However, even care, when given without boundaries or a healthy dose of self-preservation, can become a heavy burden to bear. When we care too much, we risk becoming emotional doormats, allowing others to walk all over our needs and desires. We may find ourselves constantly giving, constantly sacrificing, without receiving the same level of care and consideration in return. This imbalance can lead to resentment, burnout, and a sense of being taken advantage of. Play, that joyous expression of freedom and creativity, is often relegated to the realm of childhood, a luxury to be discarded as we enter the serious world of adulthood. We are taught that to be taken seriously, we must be serious ourselves, our faces etched in expressions of stoicism and gravitas. Yet, in our relentless pursuit of productivity and achievement, we risk losing touch with the very essence of what it means to be fully human. Play, in its many forms, whether it be through music, art, sport, or simply engaging in activities that bring us joy, allows us to tap into our creativity, to connect with our inner child, and to experience the world with a sense of wonder and delight. When we deny ourselves the opportunity to play, we become rigid, inflexible, and ultimately far less interesting. Trust, once broken, is exceedingly difficult to rebuild. It is the foundation upon which we build meaningful relationships, the glue that holds together families, communities, and societies. Yet, to trust is to make ourselves vulnerable, to open ourselves up to the possibility of betrayal. And in a world where deception and manipulation often lurk in the shadows, it's tempting to build walls around our hearts, to protect ourselves from the potential pain of being hurt. However, to live in a perpetual state of distrust is to live in a self-imposed prison. We cut ourselves off from the richness of human connection, the joy of intimacy, and the deep satisfaction that comes from knowing and being known by others. We live in a culture that glorifies busyness, where our worth is often measured by the number of hours we work and the tasks we can tick off our endless to-do lists. We wear our exhaustion like a badge of honor, a testament to our dedication and drive. But at what cost? The human body, for all its resilience, is not designed for perpetual motion. We need rest, we need downtime, we need moments to recharge and reconnect with ourselves and the world around us. When we consistently push ourselves beyond our limits, neglecting our physical and mental health in the pursuit of achievement, we risk burning out, both physically and emotionally. The very success we strive for can become a hollow victory, achieved at the expense of our well-being. Food, in its purest form, is sustenance, providing us with the energy and nutrients we need to survive and thrive. However, in our modern world of abundance and temptation, food has taken on a multitude of meanings. It can be a source of comfort, a way to celebrate, a coping mechanism for stress, and even an object of obsession. When we eat too much, consistently exceeding our body's needs, we risk developing an unhealthy relationship with food. It can become a source of shame, guilt, and even addiction. Our physical health suffers as we become overweight or obese, increasing our risk for a host of chronic diseases. Sleep, that precious respite from the demands of waking life, is essential for our physical and mental well-being. It is during sleep that our bodies repair themselves, our minds consolidate memories, and our creative energies are replenished. However, even sleep, that most natural of human needs, can become problematic when taken to an extreme. When we sleep too much, consistently exceeding the recommended amount, we risk falling into a cycle of lethargy and inactivity. Our days become unstructured, our motivation wanes, and we miss out on opportunities for growth, connection, and fulfillment. Money, that ubiquitous tool of modern life, can be a source of both freedom and anxiety. It allows us to meet our basic needs, pursue our passions, and create a comfortable life for ourselves and our families. However, when we spend too much, consistently living beyond our means, we risk falling into a dangerous cycle of debt and financial instability. The pursuit of material possessions can become an insatiable hunger, leaving us feeling perpetually dissatisfied, always striving for the next purchase, the next upgrade, the next status symbol. In the process, we risk losing sight of what truly matters in life, our relationships, our health, our sense of purpose. Makeup, for many, is an art form, a way to enhance natural beauty, to express creativity, and to boost confidence. However, when we wear too much makeup, caking it on in an attempt to conceal rather than reveal, we risk creating a barrier between ourselves and the world. The true beauty of a person lies not in their physical appearance, but in their character, their kindness, their intelligence, their humor, their unique blend of quirks and complexities. When we become overly fixated on our outward appearance, striving for an unattainable standard of perfection, we risk losing sight of our inherent worthiness. The world is a symphony of distractions, a cacophony of sights, sounds and sensations vying for our attention. From the constant barrage of notifications on our devices to the allure of social media, it's easier than ever to lose ourselves in the superficial, to skim the surface of life without ever truly diving into its depths. When we look too much, when our gaze is constantly flitting from one thing to the next, we risk missing the beauty and wonder that exist in the present moment. We become disconnected from ourselves, from the people around us, and from the natural world. Life is a journey, not a destination. It's a delicate dance between striving and acceptance, between pushing ourselves to grow and learning to be content with who we are in this moment. However, in our relentless pursuit of happiness, success and security, we often fall into the trap of thinking that once we achieve a certain goal, then we will finally be happy. The irony, of course, is that in our relentless pursuit of more, we often miss the beauty and the joy that already exist in our lives. We become so fixated on the future, on what we lack, that we fail to appreciate the present moment, the only moment we truly have. Prayer, for many, is a lifeline, a way to connect with something greater than themselves, to seek guidance, comfort and strength. It is a deeply personal practice, rooted in faith, hope and a belief in the power of something beyond the material world. When we pray with persistence, with unwavering faith and a deep yearning for connection, we open ourselves up to the possibility of miracles. We invite divine intervention into our lives, not necessarily in the form of grand gestures or dramatic displays, but in the subtle shifts in perspective, the unexpected opportunities, the gentle nudges in the right direction. Patience, that oft underrated virtue, is not simply about waiting passively for something to happen. It is an active form of engagement, a conscious choice to remain calm and composed in the face of adversity, to trust in the unfolding of events even when we don't understand the why or the how. When we cultivate patience, we develop a deep reservoir of inner strength and resilience. We learn to weather the storms of life with grace and equanimity, knowing that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope. Investment in its truest sense is not simply about financial gain. It's about making choices today that will create a better tomorrow, both for ourselves and for future generations. It's about planting seeds of hope, nurturing our talents and contributing to something larger than ourselves. When we invest wisely, whether it's in our education, our relationships, our communities or our planet, we create a ripple effect that extends far beyond our immediate sphere of influence. To let go is not to give up. It is to release our grip on the things we cannot control, to surrender to the flow of life, and to trust that even in the midst of uncertainty, there is a plan unfolding that is greater than our limited understanding. When we let go of our need to control every outcome, to micromanage every detail, we create space for something new to emerge. We open ourselves up to the possibility of serendipitous encounters, unexpected opportunities, and a deeper sense of peace. Caution, often mistaken for fear or timidity, is in fact a sign of wisdom. It is the ability to assess risks, to weigh potential consequences, and to make choices that are in our best interests, both in the short term and the long term. When we live cautiously, we are not living in a state of fear. We are simply being mindful of our choices, recognizing that our actions have consequences, and striving to create a life that is both fulfilling and sustainable. Life is not about existing in a perpetual state of deprivation. It's about finding the sweet spot, the golden mean where we are neither ruled by our desires nor defined by our limitations. It's about recognizing that too much of anything, even a good thing, can be detrimental to our well-being. As you navigate the complexities of your own life, remember that balance is not a fixed point, but an ongoing process of self-discovery and adjustment. What brings you joy? What nourishes your soul? What allows you to thrive? These are the questions worth pondering.